On my way to my last creative writing class. Hope I can handle the class without showing my cold symptoms, but I think that's not gonna be possible. Okay, I just finished my last creative writing class. I'm so excited, and I'm also very cold, and I keep having my runny nose and watery eyes. But I think it was great. I got a lot of praises and appreciations, and also good interpretations from my work. I inserted there, and I didn't expect people to actually get it, and they get it. So it's really encouraging and also very inspiring. It's also my first time trying to write nonfiction and fiction, and I know that I'm not someone that's very spontaneous. Like every class, we have a writing prompt that we're giving some cues, and we're supposed to write something 8 or 10 minutes and share a little piece. And I was always amazed by how my classmates are so fast and can come up with stories and good writing in a short amount of time. But then it's also for me to realize, okay, that's probably not me. I just need more time to articulate my thoughts and form a good story and craft my drafts. So it's also a realization for what I am good at and not beat myself too hard. It's definitely a very fruitful journey for me. Hi, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zijing, and the video you just saw was me recording myself when I just finished my last creative writing class. And this is also what this video is about. I want to share my experience of attending a creative writing class. It's also my first in-person class ever since I graduated from my PhD program, and it's in a completely different field. I want to share why I attend these classes and how am I benefiting or what I learned from taking these classes. I was thinking about attending the class because I read a lot of books. In fact, in my next videos, I will share all the books I read. For 2023, it's probably be over 50 books. And the more books that I read, the more I'm wondering whether I could try write something myself. And you guys may know that I keep a technical blog at Medium, and I write tutorials, I write what I learned in data science, how to be a better data scientist, in career development or advices, along with the PhD thesis that I write, which will run 150 pages. Those writings are all in technical field. And I'm assuming technical writing will be very different from literal writings, where technical writing are more straightforward. You can't have any ambiguity, while literature writing can be in many writing forms. So I want to explore whether there are some systematic method that I can learn to improve my writing, not only in technical field, but also explore what's outside of my field. And also I want to get to know people from different fields. Ever since I went to college, my social circle are around people that are very technical, STEM major, and data-minded. In creative writing class, I think I will be having this chance to meet people who are having a complete different interest and skill training and their perspective of viewing the world. I want to see what they are coming from and just get to know people in different backgrounds. So when I search the local community college, there is one class called the creative writing class. It's around 10 weeks long. During this class, we are encouraged to write 2 pieces. One is a nonfiction personal essay, and another one is a 5 to 7 page fiction, and that can be on any topic. So at first, I come with a mindset that I will just listen to the lecture and interact with teachers or classmates. But what benefited me the most was actually get my hands dirty, like how I get my hands dirty in coding. I get my hands dirty when I start the creation process and actually produce these 2 articles. I really enjoying the process, and also I enjoying the final product. And in the end of the video, I will share the nonfiction piece that I wrote, which is around 2 pages long, and hope you guys enjoying it. The main takeaways I got from this class, other than the 2 articles that I wrote, is that I really see there is a very big difference or a gap between technical writing versus literature. In technical writing, like I said before, it's very straightforward. In my blog that I keep regularly, I follow a very strict structure. You state the problem that everyone is facing and why it is important to solve this problem, and you provide some solutions. It could be a step-to-step tutorial guide or some suggestions that you have, or explorations, or some technical details about some methodology that you will use to solve this problem. And then you conclude maybe some drawbacks of this approach, future steps, and then you summarize what you have done in this article. I think that's the structure that I follow the most when writing my blog post and also my thesis. It's something that I feel comfortable with. While in literature writing, it can take in many formats and you can express yourself in many ways. But one thing that we talk about a lot in the class is to really inject descriptions into your work. For example, if you say my character is feeling very cold, rather than saying he's cold, you could say the cold air he breathes out that's turning into white, visibly white. Or you can describe his action of tucked himself tighter when he entered the cold air. All those things are much better than the straightforward way of saying this person is cold. I can see how is it coming because it gives the reader room to imagine things. One thing about books versus video or films or TV shows is that you don't have an image attached to it. So that gives your reader rooms to imagine the situation, to imagine the character, how they are feeling, how they are alike. With descriptive writing, it gives the readers room to picture what is going on. It adds more flavor to the writing. So there's actually one example that I want to show you when I was writing my fiction piece. For the character, I want to say that she is embarrassed and scared. Instead, I said, my voice trembling, finally I gave up the unachievable mission of hiding what I was doing, unsure where to cradle my hands in the vast uncertainty of the moment. So by describing the situation and providing senses or actions from my character, the reader can inform what she's feeling right now. She's embarrassed and scared. So that can make the reader more relatable for your character. Recently, I was listening to a podcast from a writer who was sharing there are many ways of describing a situation or a feeling. For example, for a butterfly, you could describe its color, describe its basis, or what it looks like. But the way that she preferred to describe the same butterfly was how it's flying towards you and how the shadow of its wings are flying across you and how that makes the character feels. Those subtle writing, it's almost like putting a different lens to things around you. Yeah, it's really mind-blowing. Other than the writing techniques, another thing that benefited me the most were through the creation process when I was writing my 2 articles. Those were anxious moments for me because I was nervous that I couldn't produce something meaningful or something even good to read. So I did a lot of thinking on what to write and how do I craft it. Once I have a rough idea about what I want to write, I basically lock myself in a room and I just start typing and the words just keep appearing in my screen. And that's when I realized that creation is such a liberating process. It makes me feel free, and creation is a mirror. It makes me see through myself. It's almost like a self-discovery process. Through what you're writing, you get to know what you value the most, what's been bothering you, or what you have been thinking the most. And if you don't have this medium to let it out of your system, it can cause you to feel inner pain that I constantly feel, that I want to say something, I feel bad about something, but I don't know how to express it. And writing just gave me an exit and give me a method for me to dig inside into myself and find out what's going on through this process. At least in this stage, I don't write to distribute to others, to impress others. Even including the YouTube video, I make those creations because I want to record what I was thinking at this moment or in the past. I want to stay opinionated and I want to have that discovery of myself. Lastly, I think the creative writing class was beneficial for me through the interaction with others. I am exposed to people who have very different background and skill set than me or anyone in my social circle. So I get to know how they approach things and how they are seeing the world different than I am. I was also feel very encouraged when I see a lot of people that are taking this class after their retirement. It's also very nice to have a encouraging cohort where they see my strengths and they give me a lot of compliments when we have the writers working shop together, when we read each other's stories and say what we like the most and what we might have some suggestions. I was not very confident about sharing my stories and reading it to everyone because, first of all, English is not my first language, and I always afraid there are some words that I use wrongly or my vocabulary was too simple to express what I want to say, and my writing could lead some misunderstandings. And also, I am not educated in creative writing compared to a lot of people in my class. And I basically don't know any techniques other than what we just learned in like 2 weeks. I was trying my best to write and be genuine, and I got a lot of positive feedback, well, not just from the teacher, but also from the classmates who are telling me that my writing is great. They love my story, and they give me reasons why they love my story, and they understand what I want to express with my article. So I think that's already a success for me. Another thing that I benefit from interacting with people from different backgrounds is that I have more awareness on my strengths and my weakness. During class, we always have those writing prompts where we're giving a topic. Sometimes those triggers are very random. For example, you give a place for your character to meet, and you're taking someone else's answer to write about. So those are completely random writing prompts, make me realize I'm not a very spontaneous person where I can create something very fast. Even when I'm making videos, I have to write word-to-word scripts for me to say and cover everything completely. But my classmates are awesome. They write very good articles or paragraphs with just 8 minutes of writing time. And that impressed me a lot, but also it makes me realize if I'm not a spontaneous person, then I think that's okay. I don't have to always write articles in 8 minutes. But it's really nice to be able to expose myself to people who can and be impressed about. So that's all I want to share about my motivations and my takeaways from taking this creative writing class. And lastly, I want to share a nonfiction piece that I write for this class. And it's really a reflection of myself as an immigrant and being someone that's an outlier both for my hometown and for where I live right now. So hopefully some of the writing resonate with you. So the title is Back Home. On my return home, I was once again, a third of the time, lost in the district I grew up. 3 years apart, my hometown, a peaceful inland city famous for its spicy cuisine and sauna-like summer, felt acquainted and unfamiliar simultaneously. It's like biting into your favorite chocolate, only to discover the feeling is not what you expected. It grabs me instantly with the amenable dialect and food I have been drooling over TikTok all these years when I was away. However, the more I stay, the more I find myself an outlier. The third time I got lost in my hometown, I was supposed to meet my mom near a grocery store. Still having confidence in myself, I immediately mapped a route mentally, which took around 10 minutes of working. As I was working, I was not accustomed to sunlight breaking apart by these new cloud-touching buildings and the fact that I had to wait 2 full minutes at a crossroad before it was finally my turn. A train with a rusty surface hooked by on top of an overhead bridge, shaking even the ground beneath my feet. When I lived here, the train station was always full of people, filling the space with indescribable smells and untamable emotions. Family members bid farewell to those seeking higher paying jobs or better universities elsewhere. I was one of them when I was 18. With tears streaming down my face, I said goodbye to my family as well as all the springs and autumns of this beautiful town to get my bachelor degree at one of the top universities in Beijing. I got accustomed to the peeling lips, northern dialect, and the less spicy but saltier food in Beijing before settling in a peaceful coastal city under sunny California skies to pursue a PhD. Embracing the world through a new language system, I started saying bless you when people sneezed and took holidays on Thanksgiving and Christmas despite not having a family to unite with. In Chinese traditions, when the moon becomes a full circle, drifters ought to return home to complete the family as the moon does. I was part of the circle until I had to leave for school, for work, for the never-ending dreams that persist beyond the grasp of accomplishment. As I worked continuously, I wondered why I still hadn't arrived. My mom's call broke my thoughts. I have arrived. Where are you? She asked. I am by the bakery. The bakery? That's a detour. Which route did you take? I explained my mental map. She interrupted. The road has been rerouted to develop a new apartment complex. You need to return to the crossroad and turn left. I looked at the unfinished apartment complex ahead of me, wondering who the target buyers would be. The demand was high a couple of years ago when the government purchased houses from many families to rebuild and upgrade the town's infrastructure. My childhood home was taken down to build a parking lot, and my grandfather's home, the one with a front yard full of fruit trees and a backyard for raising chickens, become a bus station. My dad pointed out the bus stop sign stood where the persimmon trees used to be when we passed by one day. Even the pond in front, where I captured tadpoles and dragonflies every summer, where I almost fell when biked nearby, was filled with dirt and paved with concrete. Cars passing by now as if my memories were only imaginations. The roads become wider and public parking become more attractive and accessible. However, after everyone who needs to move has been relocated, the housing market cools down inevitably. The small town is filled with new apartment complexes, mostly unfinished, skyscrapers by the riverside, or installed floor-to-ceiling windows, only to dissolve into complete darkness when the night comes. No single light was turned on. When I turned back towards the crossroad, it was the moment I realized my hometown was not there for me to return, but to remind me how far I had gone. That's all for today's video. Thanks for staying this far and hope you like my article. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe for more contents. And until next time, stay creative. And we'll see you next time. Bye!